have an age difference. We have life differences.
This is how you should live your life.
I got the faith, because to get the faith,
Got it. Well, let's jump into this.
this is the Old School, New School podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Old School, New School podcast. I am Will Charles Egan, and as always,
Chris Meekins.
if you are watching on YouTube, you will realize that everything is completely
Everything's
different
changed.
looking.
He's out of control.
I hate change. The table has been altered 90 degrees, and I'm livid.
Same background, same
yeah.
everything. Well,
Everything's fine.
different. This is in the center of the table normally, but you
Yeah.
know we got to move.
It's got to look decorative or whatever. This is a lazy Susan or
Well,
whatever
it's postmodern.
Yes.
So this is like a real postmodern table from the 60s and 70s.
This table's older than me.
It might be older than me, but
Oh,
anyway. And so there's furniture, and so we're going in that direction. We're trying to change this room. That's
Why?
Probably like 15 by 25.
Yeah.
In my youth, it was called the front room, but it's the living room.
Living room, yeah.
And then that's the family room back over there.
Oh, yeah, you have two.
Yes, we have two.
I see.
Living room. And now they make houses where it's just one room.
One box
Yeah,
and a
one
kitchen.
room. But we have a small group,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and there's 15 people, and so she wants it, you know, very comfortable.
Yeah.
And then we have the other room, and God
Right.
forbid. So it works better that this
Yes.
table is turned sideways.
Yeah.
But she sees things, and she wants people, when they come to my house, they feel comfortable
Yeah.
because it's thought out.
Well, good for you and her, I guess.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah.
I want it changed because I come here on Sundays.
Yes, we want the table going down the middle of the room because it makes sense for me.
Yes, because of
Well,
me.
that's why you're not married yet. Because once you get married, you're like, well, I would no, you don't understand. Okay,
I am in charge here.
yeah, I guess I don't understand.
You know, I don't. I'll figure it out.
So anyway, your week was good.
Week was good. Yeah, we had no crazy new revelations, but
Yeah.
I raked my
And
backyard.
you didn't get married or anything.
I have not gotten married
all right.
since
Well, that's
we-
good because
yeah.
there's probably plenty of girls out there crying
Yes.
if you did.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
My many fans that
Yes.
are.
We said something last week which brought up the thought in our podcast when you mentioned in your small group how you had mentioned your mental flaws.
Yes, my many mental flaws. Yes, it's a
What's
good
a
word for it.
politically correct way to talk about that? What's the right verbiage?
That I'm retarded. No, I don't know. Mental health or
Okay.
Yeah.
And how the world and mental health is
Yeah.
just really on a fast track
yes,
to hell
Yes.
in a handbag.
very much so. We're all on a speeding train, just flying off a cliff.
And so there was a number of reasons that we concluded
Yes,
in our, but you have a psychology degree,
I have a bachelor's in psychology.
so
yes.
you're much smarter than I am.
Yes.
But we had talked about different reasons for the mental health crisis that's
Yep.
going on,
Oh yeah.
right? I mean, and I don't think older people realize how much of a crisis it is
Yeah.
for younger people. So I want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit
Yeah.
about the different perspective because I'm like, you know, you think of my parents, they went to World War II, they got shot up.
Right.
They came back, it's like, okay, figure it out.
Yeah.
Now,
We have none of that.
if the bus is late,
It's the end of the world. Right.
now it's not a surprise for a parent to go with a person, an adult child, on a job interview.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Not
I-
you.
no, I was-
you're an
I
only
didn't have
child. You were. well, there's benefits to being an only child too, because it's like, hey, you're treated more like an adult.
Right.
Where
Yes.
big families are like, just shut up,
Yeah, you're just kid
Yeah.
number 8.
Yeah.
You know,
mind your own business.
one of a number.
So give me a general thought on what you see, because I'm like, it's stupid. Grow up. Maybe they'll grow out of it. But
Yeah.
you're in a different world than
Yeah.
I am.
Well, the problem that a lot of us have is that these feelings that we have are so existential, meaning that it's so all-encompassing and kind of overwhelming because the wise philosopher by the name of Joe Rogan once said, the hardest thing you've ever had happen to you is the hardest thing you've ever had happen to you. And it's like, well, duh. But like truly, if you are Kim Kardashian, the hardest thing that's ever happened to you is you stubbed your toe, right?
Okay.
And so for Kim Kardashian, stubbing her toe is the worst pain ever because everything is plush, and we are in a world now where everything is much easier and there's not as much pain and things are kind of given to us, and
right.
There are a lot of consequences to that, which we'll get into, of like the fact that we're all actually isolated because of the technology age, but because of a lot of the isolation that we feel, the social standard, that becomes the worst thing. For your parents, the worst thing that they ever happened was watching their best friend get blown up by a shell in a trench.
Right.
That's the worst thing ever, which
it's kind of bad.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, that's kind of as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
For us, it's, the Wi-Fi is out, right? Which is significantly stupider.
Oh my God,
the Wi-Fi's out. But yeah, we live in an era where the problems are just different. And, like I said this before on a podcast a couple episodes ago, your brain will interpret certain, whether it be social stressors or the job that you have, will interpret that as stepping in front of a school bus that's going 80 miles per hour, right? And it doesn't matter if it's actually being at war and watching your friend get blown up in a trench, or if it's you've got fired from your job. To your brain, stepping in front of a bus feels like stepping in front of a bus, right? Because again, the hardest thing you've ever experienced is the hardest thing you've ever experienced. So for your father, that was the Great War.
Right.
For me, it's getting fired from my job, but still our brains interpret it as, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I'm going to lose my mind, right? Yeah. Which is, you could and understandably so, you could very easily look at that and go, well, this generation's just soft, right?
Yeah.
But we deal with...
And I think that's what older people think.
And a lot of it is true, but a lot of it is also that we have different problems.
Well, and you can look at a computer and say, okay, we'll figure this out. Mm-hmm. And I'll pay somebody to go do it. So I'm soft, where you're like, use your brain.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just made that up.
That was really smart. You should write that one down. Because you are, in different ways, to my generation, soft. Oh, you're just dumb. You don't know how to use this.
Okay, give me your phone. I don't know how, like I said, I volunteer at the high school group. Yep. I don't know how many times someone said, just give me your phone.
Just let me do it.
Just
I've done that.
Give me your phone.
I know his password on his phone because I'm like,
give me your phone. Yep. It's not worth explaining.
Yep.
Well, as an adult, when you have children, you're like, okay, just go play. I'll take care of it. So it's
the same. Nothing new under the sun, Chris. Just like it says in Ecclesiastes.
Well, and I think of when I was younger. No, my wife and I had this conversation after our podcast last week.
Oh yeah.
About how she's an only child, and her parents, she would just go and play, and there was this woods down the street and around the corner.
Yeah.
And it was like be home before the lights go out.
Yeah.
Now, if you did that, they would put you in jail. They would you have abandoned your child.
Yes.
If you're not in the room with them, you're like a bad parent.
Yeah.
So there's this different level of expectation.
Yeah.
Like if you had kids now, there would be this level of expectation that I would be like, they have to be in the room with us? Can't you just send them outside to play? And you'd be like, well, what if my wife would kill me if I was outside letting them play by themselves.
Right. Credit to my mom. I did get a little bit of the latchkey kid treatment, so I understand what you're saying. Because for me, it was like just go ride a bike.
But that was when you were when?
That was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were also 10, 12 years old.
Yeah. Just go ride your bike, and I would just kind of go around.
Back in my parents' your dad's, they had a paper route at 12. At 12 years old, I had a paper route.
You did? You did that?
I rode around on a bike and put in papers in this one house. It was really spooky.
Oh, yeah?
No, it was like,
uh-oh.
It was scary. It was
haunted.
it was scary.
We had a haunted house around the corner.
I wouldn't even ask to go because you had to collect the money and knock on the door. Hey,
Yep.
I need your 50 cents. And I'm like, I'm not asking. My
No?
mom would like, you got to ask her for her money. And I'm like,
That house is haunted. I'm sorry.
She might kill me.
Yeah.
She might kill me. But anyway, so there's a different way. I mean, it's just totally different. And so we live in this place where it's a battle for our attention, our relationships, and ultimately our walk with God, because everything has changed. And so the whole world, it's like in my mind, I'm like, why don't you go to church? Why is church optional to you? Why is social media, like, I mean, you go places and they're always on, although there's some pretty old people that are always on their phone.
Oh, yeah.
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 So, some old people really are more addicted than
they're
young
in
people.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in. So I've noticed something interesting, and so we have more technology, but more than ever, people are separated.
Yep.
They don't know how to connect.
Yeah.
There's this loneliness. And then you talk about like your small group where you mention something and all of a sudden you get 5 phone calls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mentioned, like, I have this problem with my brain, and they're like, oh, me too. And I'm like, hold on. You mean to tell me, oh, yeah, and so does he, and so does he, and so does, oh, wait, we all have this issue. Yeah. We're just afraid that if we share it, we're going to feel like the idiot. It was like, no, we're actually all dealing with this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And so I would think when, again, my age group, you were just hanging around doing nothing because you had nothing really distracting. You were like, I mean, we were bad when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And so we'd hang out in front of this one kid, Tom Manzetti's house.
Yeah.
And there would be like 10 cars lined up, and we'd all have beers, and we'd just hang out there. You'd go in front of his house and just stand out on the street.
Yep.
I mean, when it's in the suburbs. It was like a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
You'd stand out in the street, and we'd buy beer. We'd stand there and drink, and we would just talk and wait to decide what we were gonna do. We'd all hop in our cars, and we'd go to a bar or something like that.
Yep.
Because we all had fake IDs. But it was like you just hung around.
Yeah.
And you just stood there, and if you didn't have anything to say, you didn't talk.
Right. Yeah. And now that's
unheard of.
right. Exactly.
Unheard of.
Now, if you don't have anything to say, just right to the phone. Pick up your phone. Go in your own world. I kind of hate. There's one thing in my friend groups that we all do, and I kind of notice I'm like the only one that's not like plugged into the matrix. Like at the end, like we all just came back from the pool. Everybody's just kind of on the couch. We're all in the same room, and everybody's on their phone. And sometimes we'll be talking and scrolling on our phone at the same time. But I kind of have this like I'll be the only one not on my phone. I'm just kind of looking around at everybody. I'm like, this feels gross. I hate this. Because it's literally like
I almost want to disrupt it. I'm going to go out and go swimming.
Yeah.
Everybody like, all right.
What are you doing? It's literally like if at the end of a hangout, everybody has like a smoke break where everybody, because we're all addicted to our phones. And so it's like at the very end of whatever we just did that required a lot of, it's taxing, whatever that means. We go, okay, just one couple seconds scrolling. It's like a drug, truly.
Right.
It was what it is.
It is.
We've replaced this uncomfortable feeling of like saying nothing, of boredom. We've replaced boredom with the drug that is our phone.
So what if all three of these are connected? AI replacing conversation, people leaving church, and social media consuming our attention. Maybe these aren't three separate issues. Maybe they're all one. Because that was like when I was trying to, what to talk about. Are these all one?
Wow. You might be onto something here, Chris.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, he keeps on going, AI, it's no big deal. It's going to disappear in 2 to 3 years.
I will continually be the pessimist, yes. Me and my friends were all like, no. But we also need to adapt.
They're also going to sell stock to Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
SpaceX.
Grok and SpaceX and all those other.
Yep.
And he's probably going to be a trillionaire at the end of that day, right?
Yep.
And people are investing big
time. That's something to invest in.
Big time.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
When is that open? Is that on Monday?
I don't know. You know me with stock. I buy high, sell low.
You do?
Yes. That's been my MO.
Oh, how's that worked?
Yeah. Well, and then I saw on the internet on Facebook, so it must be true.
Yeah, of course.
That you could send $100 to this one app, and you'll have $100,000 in no time at all.
Chris.
So why would we not be addicted if that's like? Could that be true?
If that's the bait they're giving us,
and I'm like $100. Okay, I can.
That's nothing.
That's dinner.
Right. Yeah, literally, it is dinner, and then you get 6 figures. You get 100. You get 1,000 times your investment.
Or I could go out to dinner and just have a pretty expensive poop the next day.
That's probably what that app is. Pretty expensive poop.
You really think so?
I know for a fact it is because I work in that space. Don't get me started, Chris. That's not what this podcast is about. We're going off the rails, Chris.
The point is that AI brings you to places that you didn't know. And so what it does is it takes you out of places that are healthy.
Yeah.
And so that scripture, can AI replace human connection? In Hebrews 10:24 and 25. It says, "Do not neglect meeting together."
Yes, I love in this, and in Acts 2, it talks about very similar verbiage. What is really interesting in the wording is it says they're talking about the first church after the first 3,000 people were saved after the day of Pentecost, and so it says. They would meet, they shared everything in common. They sold all their belongings and gave to everyone as they had need. They would not neglect the fellowship. And it's interesting because they use this article, the, as it is a proper noun. It's not, and then they had some fellowship.
Okay.
No, they did not neglect the fellowship as though it were a staple of the faith. This is like a thing that you do. Like one of the 10 Commandments type of thing. You're a Christian? Yeah, okay, you read the scripture, you worship your God, and you practice the fellowship. That's something that you do.
So not looking at a story of Jesus on the Facebook isn't the same.
Not even close.
But people think it is.
I did. For the longest time, I was like, I'm just going to watch this one live stream on YouTube.
Okay.
And it's funny because the dude on the live stream was literally preaching out of this exact verse. There are some of you that are watching our live stream right now, and we appreciate that you do, but you're neglecting the fellowship. This is an important staple of your faith. And there's some people that are just going and reading the Bible by themselves in a house with maybe just one other person or themselves. And you're neglecting the way he put it was a little more extreme. He said, this is a commandment. This is a requirement of your faith is the fellowship. So you shouldn't be just watching our live stream to kind of supplement your church experience. Right. You should be going to church.
I did some religion. I used to do it at the fire station on Sundays when I had to work. They go, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to go to the library, watch some religion."
Yeah.
They're like, "Okay.
Okay, Chris.
Okay.
How'd that work out?
And it did on Sunday. I was like, okay, God, I can't leave work. So,
yeah.
And then I'd go on my days off. And it was, I normally am not a big, back then it was a whole different animal. It was a TV evangelist versus,
those guys are.
versus online regular church
yes.
online.
Yeah, TV evangelists are.
When you think about that, that's messed up. Oh,
really?
Compared to what you have now.
Oh, yeah.
You could have the same intellectual experience that the people at your church did sitting at your home intellectually.
Right.
But
you're missing the most important part, which is that there's community around you.
Which we got ahead of our story ourselves. Because if you go back to the AI, it could trade stock for you in theory.
Supposedly.
But it can't sit beside you in the hospital. I was thinking, we went to we have a small group, and it's turned out really good, and we really enjoy it. Yeah. And I thought, so my father-in-law had a fall again, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's amazing who's coming aside us all day today are the people that we went bowling with on Friday night.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're like, hey, are you guys okay? Is there anything we can do? Great. And so those are the people that you're like, okay, isn't there a verse that says, a friend is closer than a brother, or
Find your phone. Let's look it up.
oh my gosh, come on.
Yeah, let me do it. Just give me your phone. I got it.
I get it. But anyway, so then we go down to the whole Jesus or religion. And so you're like, younger people are saying, well, I believe in Jesus. It's not about religion.
Yeah. And of course the like, well, I'm checking the box. I'm going to watch the sermon on live.
So what do you think younger people are just walking away from church?
Well, some are walking away, some are walking towards church. It's interesting. There's like, I'm more of an optimist when it comes to my generation and like the trajectory that we're going down. Because there's like there's a great revival in culture and in
keep
faith
on
and
hearing
stuff.
about this.
Yeah. I believe it. I see it. I think that there is truly a great revival because I think we're kind of getting sick and tired of the things that this technology has pretended to offer us, because that was the promise of the internet and the phone and everything, was that we'll be closer together than ever before. But because of the convenience, we kind of, just like watching the church live stream, we've kind of supplemented the real community with just the phone, and we have lost that actual face-to-face connection. Yeah. Did you find that verse?
No, I can't figure that out.
Well, if you let me do it.
I can't figure out how to find. I can't figure out.
Give me that. Watch this. All right. What was the verse? You said better than better than a brother? A friend is better than a brother in time of needs or something like that. And I think it's a proverb where it's like, like you and I we see each other all the time. Right. Yeah, good point.
Couple of my brothers I haven't talked to in a long time.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's
wow.
My family's messed up.
Yeah. That's right.
They have a whole different world than I do, and they really don't want to be part of my world, and I don't know if I want to be part of theirs. I mean, this makes me a bad Christian, huh?
No. I feel you don't choose your family. Hence this verse, which is in Proverbs 18:24.
I knew it. That's exactly where I thought I was going to look that up.
One who has an unreliable friend soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Yeah. Jesus. Or a friend that sticks closer than a brother.
Like right now, there's a couple people in my life that I would call them first before other than Joyce.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would call them before. Why would I call my brother on this issue?
He lives over there.
Yeah. And we don't have like a relationship.
Right. Yeah.
And so that when you're part of this body, and when you go to church, I'm going to talk pro-church.
Go ahead.
When you walk into the church, you see people. I see the guys that are in my group.
Yep.
I see guys that are in my small group. I see, I have this other group. It's called the Three.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're my three guys that we meet every other week.
Nice.
You're allowed to say anything.
Good.
You're expected to say anything.
Good.
The small group, women are there. It's like you got to be careful.
Yeah.
I mean, as inappropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, Joyce and I, we never talk about like sexual things and stuff like that in front of mixed company.
Yeah.
But we've always, there's people that were like, they'll joke about sexual things. Just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
Fair enough.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to joke about their sex life.
Right. Yeah.
We're not talking there.
But with the guys, it's like you are expected
you could
to
say
share
something.
anything.
Well, you could say something. You could say, hey, whatever.
Right.
But, yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I said that, but anyway,
it's community.
But when you go to church, you're also in the building. You're like, hey, there's Will. Hey, there's Tom. There's Jordan, and you're just keeping the friendship alive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know you were pregnant. It's. I mean, but if you don't see anybody, you're not there. You're like, oh, you guys got 4 kids now.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Suddenly, 4 years have passed, and you're shoot, it's been a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And whatever.
Because if you're like the CEO Christians, you show up on Christmas, you show up on Easter, and one other, then, you have no community. There's no rooting in your religion. It's just kind of the check on the box. It's Easter, you do the church thing, and then you go get lunch.
So this church that you go to, this Harbor Freight
Church, yes. Where it's only men. No. Harbor Church.
And,
with a U.
And it's really built around younger people relationship.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional, but it ended up being exactly that. It's a very community-based church. We have dinner parties. It's so funny. We just ended the 5th season of our dinner parties. Like, imagine if Bayside small groups had seasons where they meet for like this many months, and then they stop for 3 months, and then they start again with another season, which is kind of cool. It gives the leaders time to kind of, take a break, and the whole cadence is kind of organized by the church. And yeah, we're very centered around, like, Wednesdays we'll have dinner parties, which is people get together, break bread, literally sharing a meal together, and then we talk about our faith. And it's great. We're very rooted in, like, oh no, this is a real community. You're expected to exchange phone numbers, meet outside of this, do real life together, call each other, right? If you have a problem, call me, that kind of stuff. Because that's really what the topic of discussion here is, this whole, like, what does it mean when I say the fellowship, like it says in Hebrews 10 here? That's what it looks like practically.
So you're talking about relationship church rather than religion. So let's talk
both.
a little bit about why people hate religion.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason they hate it is they've been hurt by it in some way. That's really what I think it comes down to. Whether it be just, I think this is boring, right? Because that could really just be the extent of it. Oh, you're not going to allow me to do what I want. Or they've been hurt by the church establishment in some way, and they're just kind of like, that's ancient, that's dated, that doesn't match with my ideas.
Well, I think you get also, there's this group of people, they're called codependents, and which I have a badge in that whole world.
Oh, yes.
God has delivered me from
Amen.
much of that. But it's like, well, this is what a real Christian looks like, which is baloney.
Baloney.
Yeah. I mean, that's religion. Religion, it's like Jesus never healed anybody the same way, right? Never.
Good point.
And everybody's got a different story of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And so just because you read this and this is what you've determined the scriptures are saying to you, who are you to tell me how God's going to use me?
Yeah.
It's like this formula. You got to follow this formula.
The traditions, the formula.
Yeah.
I like that. Obviously, there's things that we all can agree on, like baptism, communion, right?
Didn't we talk about that? Like there's the thing that's the core preferences and
yes.
There's another one.
For each individual, there's kind of like preferences.
But what's the core?
But the core is you're saved by grace, by Jesus' blood. That's your salvation. There's baptism, which is the outward expression of your salvation. There's taking communion, which is breaking bread, drinking the cup, which is the sign of the covenant. There are things that we all can agree on, right? Wouldn't necessarily call that religion. It's core, because for some people they drink actual wine, some people it's grape juice. Most people it's grape juice, right? It doesn't have to be follow the letter of the law. It's a sign of the covenant. And then with other things, like you ever heard of an art church before? Art, A-R-T. There are some churches where it's like the whole congregation is made up of like artists, and their expression of worship and teaching is like during the worship song, some dude's painting.
I've seen that happen, but I didn't know there was churches that actually existed.
I think there's one in St. Pete. Your lamp just turned on by itself. That was worrying. That was weird. Does that happen?
It's got a wife.
Oh.
We've got timers.
That's good. Oh, all right. But art churches, it's like most people hear that and they go, that's different. But like the whole point is being the mosaic of God's kingdom. Everybody's a little different.
So religion's more like perform, rules first, impress God.
Yeah, exactly.
Where we're talking relationship.
Yeah.
Relationship. And quite honestly, people are making decisions based on wrong information.
Yep.
Younger people, but then older people are like, I'm not going to go there because that pastor drives a Lamborghini. He does? You saw him in it? No, but I read it on the internet, and so that's bullcrap.
Yes.
And those people are a bunch of hypocrites. Well, actually, it's probably good you're not here.
Yeah.
Just
if you
saying.
just showed up.
Yeah, maybe you should just.
I've
whatever.
been guilty of that myself. The church that I currently go to, the first time I ever went, I was like, I don't really think I'd like this.
You did say that.
I did say that. And I was very wrong, happily wrong. But I remember the first time I went there, I was like, I just didn't feel it with the message. The worship was good, but I just didn't feel the energy of this. And I was wrong. I made a judgment call, and I was wrong.
And so what AI can't do is it can't give you a relationship. It can give you all the right answers.
Yeah.
But there's something about
Being in the room.
being in the room
Yeah.
with other people that you're watching change.
Mm-hmm.
That you're watching. So I went to the high school kids, small group, and there was, it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like 10 immature boys in the room, high school, with girls sitting over on the other side. It's just like, and so there was one kid's like goofy, couldn't answer anything and everything, but he did say something about, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go to homeschool or public school, and he says, just pray for that, because it was a prayer request. Mm-hmm. Goofy. But I thought in my spirit, you should ask him about that.
Okay. There you
Which is what happens when you're in the room.
Yeah.
What happens when you're hopefully a leader.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I hear something that's interesting.
Right.
So I asked him. Kid went super serious. He's like, well, my parents are working through some things, and they both have to work, and I want to do sports. And so if I homeschool, I can get my work done, and it puts less burden for what I want to do in their life. I'm like, well, that is like the kindest thing ever.
Yeah.
He goes, but I'm going to miss my relationships, but I don't know what to do because I'm really more worried about my family. And I thought, he would have never said that.
Yep.
In a big group.
Yep.
But the fact that we were walked out, and I go, oh, well, I'll pray for you about that, and kept on walking, because that's what men do.
Yes. We just, oh yeah, that was really deep. Anyways.
By the way, there's ice cream down the hall.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah. That what's her name put out.
And that's another thing is, I really wanted to touch on this. If you're not in the room, not only are you missing the community, but you're not able to serve others. That's a huge part of the Christian faith, is being a servant, making disciples, right?
Yeah.
Loving others and loving God. Those are the two most important.
But then you
commands.
go back to AI. It's taking people out of the room.
Right.
It takes people out of their job.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes, even you, like you were saying, you look up things on AI, you're like, okay, that would have took me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I couldn't have got that research. And now it's typing a sentence, and I've got more information.
Yeah. And that can be helpful. But you're taking the human aspect out of it, which for AI's sake, efficiency is nice, right? And that has its place.
Do you think, since the computer age,
yes,
we put this huge emphasis on intellectualism over the last 40 years, right? That's been going on. When did Bill Gates invent the internet?
That's the funniest thing you've ever said. When did Albert Einstein invent outer space?
Yes.
Bill Gates invented the internet, which he didn't, for the record. Let's just say around like late 80s was when it really became like, the computer, the personal home computer.
Okay.
And then the 90s was when people had internet.
Okay. Probably mid 80s.
Okay.
I would, no.
Internet?
No.
Was 90s.
No, 90s.
Yeah.
And so, and I remember the switch.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I went from dial-up to...
I remember dial-up, yep.
To thing. But so here in the 80s, 90s, early 2000, it was all about, look how small these computer geeks are, and how intellectual, and we have all this. And that was put on the throne. If you look at all the rich people...
Right, they're all tech people.
Elon Musk.
Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos.
Way up here.
Yep.
But now all of a sudden, which would answer to your part, it's like, we're moving from this is the most important thing, intellectualism, to now to relationships.
Yeah. I believe a big part of this culture shift that us young people are experiencing is because we've put so much emphasis on the brain.
Yeah.
We've left the heart out.
Which is my biggest frustration for years. Is like, well, you're not that smart. Which I'm okay. Yeah, that's true. And when I would have to do research.
Don't make me do the research.
Don't make me do it. It's not going to happen. When I have to write a paper, don't make me do it.
Yep.
Stand in front of a crowd, make them laugh. I'm in.
Yep. Exactly.
And so
it's good.
Yeah. Well,
your gifting is the heart, and there's a time and there's a need for that, and a lot of people have left that out completely, because there are some people where that is like a large majority of their gifting.
No.
Right. And we've completely shunted all of the whole, like, oh, the heart is important. So now people where that is your whole gifting, it's just like, well, you're nothing.
Yeah.
Because you're just dumb.
But again, we'll go back to, if you're not in the room, one of the things that happened at the fire station, you would sit around, there's, 8 guys sitting around a table, and you'd have these discussions. And, that was my strength. My strength would be,
right.
We had this guy walk in one time. We're sitting there, it's breakfast time, and the guy's got cancer. He retired. We heard he got cancer.
Yep.
Everybody knows. And he came in. He's like, yeah, just come up for a cup of coffee. And we're sitting there for 20 minutes, and everybody's talking about the weather, and they're talking about, the gossip, firehouse gossip. And finally, I couldn't take it anymore. Mm-hmm. And in front of everybody, I said, hey, Bill, is this true that you got this cancer? Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what's the diagnosis? Everybody in the room wants to answer.
Yeah, they want to know.
They want to know because nobody knows.
Yep.
And so, again, that's your strength and weakness.
Yeah, exactly.
Why does your face look like that? No.
What the heck's wrong with you?
Where did your hair go?
Yeah.
Anyway, but then he went on to explain this thing for 15, 20 minutes, and we had this long discussion. The guys were like talking. And afterwards, the guy's like, man, I'm so glad you asked that question.
Yep.
Because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what, God forbid we talk about cancer. I can write about cancer on thing. It doesn't help me.
Yep. But when you talk with another human being about it,
they're like, oh, yeah, that happened to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I was able to get through it. Like this torn meniscus.
Mm-hmm. Meniscus.
I asked a question, and it's like, do this, do this, do this. This is probably what happened, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, that's great. But in church, a friend of ours is a personal trainer, and she's like, this is what you want. You want to make sure you do this.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, okay, it's not so bad.
Right.
Because I'm thinking they're going to chop my knee off, get a knee replacement.
It's like WebMD. It's like, hey, I'm experiencing this headache. You have cancer. You're like, well.
Right. But when you're with a person, they're like, okay.
Yes,
you still want to investigate.
Yes, you get the holistic approach with a human being.
Right. So the last part was, so what owns your attention owns your life. And Philippians 4:8 says, and we talked about this a week ago, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, pure, lovely, admirable, think about these things. And so today, everybody wants your attention.
Yep. And sometimes, most of the time, they win.
And it's poison.
It's poison. Yeah. YouTube's my drug of choice on this list.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. For you, it's the news.
Yeah. Well, I've been getting off. But recently, I mean, if they talk about this guy with a covered up swastika on his chest running for Congress, you don't even know what I'm talking about, right?
Couldn't tell you.
See? And if they say it one more time, it's like, is there any other news in the whole world?
No. He has a
other
swastika
than
on
this
his chest.
guy running for office.
Yes.
Well, he covered it up.
But it's there.
But it was there underneath there.
I've never heard this.
And then he's got this other story. And he's a bad person. But let it go. I mean, not even let it go, but you know what? I
don't care.
I got more stuff on my mind.
I've got bigger fish to fry right now. Yeah.
Right. I got this torn meniscus.
Yeah.
But whatever you're watching, know this. It's what you're going to become. And
yes,
it gets into your feet. So Joyce is redecorating, and we talked about that.
Yeah.
And God forbid that she needs new lamps. And so I'm looking on Facebook Marketplace.
Yep. Didn't you just get these?
Married.
Yeah. My bad.
Long term.
Yep. You're right.
If that's what it needs for her to okay, man. You just keep up the good work. But anyway, on my Facebook, nothing but lamps come up on Facebook or my Instagram.
Yeah.
Constant.
They know.
And so they know.
They know.
And so they're constant.
They want your attention.
Whether you're looking at porn,
Yeah.
it shows up.
Yeah.
Whether you're looking at, new cars, I wrecked my car.
And now car ads all the time?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're nice cars.
Yeah.
Exactly in my price range.
Yeah. Wow. They
How
probably
do they
know.
know?
They know your exact
love
net
me.
worth.
They love me.
They want your attention, Chris. They don't love you. So, yeah, Philippians 4, all that being said, what's the opposite, right? Philippians 4:8, I love this verse. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, pure, lovely, admirable, think about these things. Mm-hmm. It says, cast your mind on things above. Like, these are, it's so simple. Because we overcomplicate things. We get anxious, we get depressed, we get this, we get that. We are WebMDing our torn meniscus. We get so lost in the weeds, we get so distracted. Every time I come back to Jesus, it's always like the one thing that he needs to remind me. We did a podcast not too long ago about Jesus at Martha and Mary's house. Martha's distracted. She's doing all the chores and preparation stuff. Mary's sitting at Jesus' feet. And Martha finally throws up her hands and goes like, don't you care? I'm trying to do all this stuff. And Jesus compassionately goes, Martha, Martha, you are concerned about many things, but really there are only few. Truly, there's only one. Mary has found the better thing. And it's all like, I feel the Lord doing this to me all the time. I get lost in the weeds. I get out in the sticks of my brain, worrying about this, worrying about that. Or I need to fix this. I need to start doing this. I need to implement this. And Jesus is always just like, Will, you're doing it again. Remember, you just have to be at my feet. I'm like, oh.
So what's the first thing? So let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
So what's your first thought of the day? What's the first thing that you do every day? I mean, because that's really where it is.
Yeah.
Your brain gets into a pattern, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I would love to say it's scripture. Right? The first words out of my mouth are, our Father who art in heaven. I used to do the prayer of Jabez every single morning.
Yeah.
That was really good. I have it on my wall in my room on this little plaque. Of course, goodness. I mean, it's Jeremiah. It says that his mercies are new every day. We should operate in that. Have you ever been there? Like you have a terrible day and you just wake up and you got to, all right, new day. I'm going to just accept the grace of God. Have you ever had that before where you wake up?
It has happened.
Yeah,
it has happened like, okay, God, it's a new day.
It's a new day.
I'm going to start over.
Exactly. And that's oftentimes where mine is. Like, this day sucked, or I am having a terrible whatever. It's a new day. Your mercies are new every day. It really it is transformative when you're setting your mind on things above when it's the first thing in your day.
You know, it's really funny because your whole life is like, okay, there's all this news going to happen. You're going to find a girl, end up getting married, having a family. It's all new and new and new. Mine is like on the opposite end, winding down. It's like, I have a wife. Yeah, I have kids.
Oh, really?
I have grandkids, and like, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
I really have nothing to really worry about. You're like, well, I really have nothing to worry about, so I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It all brings you back to, where your mind is focused on.
Yeah.
And I think that's the cue for older people is what do you believe that you're completely done, or do you believe that God still has more for you?
Yeah.
And I think for you, it's like, okay, this is long-term effects.
Right.
Habits that I'm developing as a young person. So what do you do in the morning? What's the first thing you do in the morning?
Typically it's, if some crazy dream happened the night prior, wake up, wow, what's the Lord trying to do there? Gratitude lists, things like that.
Do you have a quiet time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Jeez.
Yeah.
Answer the freaking question.
No, I mean, like, you asked literally, like, what are the moment my eyes pop open, it's not our Father who art in heaven,
No.
like, practically.
It's like, do you drink coffee in the morning?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
No.
I shuffle
slowly
to the coffee part, pour it on there, have a little routine.
When I'm up, I'm ready to go typically, but yeah, no, I have to intentionally seek God every morning, because if I don't, I can fall back into the patterns of distraction very easily.
One of the things that I talked about a couple of weeks ago is like, it's how you live the day. I tell the story about the obedience, putting my seatbelt on.
Yep.
But just a couple weeks ago, I might have shared this. I can't remember because, we talk so much. Is that I was having this debate in my mind about volunteering to go help Paul move.
Yep.
And the debate was going on in my mind, and nobody else is in the room. I had my quiet time. I'm like, hey, I should ask Joyce if she wants to go and help. And I'm like, she's going to say no. And by the time I was at my men's group, I was like all aggravated at her.
Yeah.
And
you
having
never
this
even
battle.
asked her.
And so finally, I felt like God said, just ask her. Say, hey, would you like to come to Paul's with me? And she says, yes. And so I'm having this whole battle.
Right.
God was already working. Mine was to join him in things that are pure, what is noble, what it was things that are good for me to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so if you don't start off your day like that, the enemy wants to destroy your day, right?
Yeah.
And he just wants to distract us in
right.
How am I going to get this person to sign this deal? How am I going to, right?
Well, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to talk to this person? I got to bring up this thing. It's one of the enemy's 3 things in his playbook.
Yeah.
Distraction's one of them.
So AI can't replace human connection. We concluded that.
We have discovered that. Yes. Yes.
Religion can't replace a relationship with Jesus. And honestly, just on all seriousness, people in the last few years, churches have really become more sensitive to relationships. At my church and at your church, it's like relationships. How do they say it?
What, like?
Are the context?
Oh, yeah. Life change happens in the context of relationships.
Okay.
That's very true.
And it does. Yeah. It very, very much does. We had this amazing time Friday night bowling with our friends, and it was like, these are good people, and I really enjoy being with them. I'm going to go home, and I probably won't see them for a couple of days. Oh, I saw them today at church, and we laughed and talked about whatever. How amazing Joyce of the Buller. It's so aggravating.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, oh, hi. Strike. Huh?
Really?
Oh,
that's so
strike.
Annoying. That's really annoying.
So annoying.
That's annoying.
And so this channel is look up, spend some time with God, be present for somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
serve. Yeah.
Or just be in the room.
Just be in the room.
Just be in the room and say, hey, I'm interested in being your friend. Don't do that. It's creepy. And pay attention to what God is saying. There's something about, like, I really want to go do this thing. And it's like, well, maybe that's God speaking to you.
Yeah.
I mean, try it out. The worst that can happen is like, well, that sucked.
Yeah, just try church.
You don't have to go.
Sit in the back. Who cares? Bring a friend. Don't go by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to say about this other than 20 years from now, what will matter more? What's going to matter the most in 20 years from now?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. That's a great place to wrap up. Yeah, if you think about it, like truly, if you think about it, like everybody on their deathbed, they're not saying, man, I wish I just made more money so I could buy that car. Man, I wish I could have gone to that one place that was on my bucket list. And see, it's always like, I wish I'd spent more time with my friends and my family. Always. Yeah, what matters the most, life change truly does happen in the context of community. Prioritize that. You can't supplement your faith or your religious practices with a live stream on YouTube,
right,
where you're isolating. You need to be with other people.
What about the person that can't stand someone in their family? Is that illegal? Does that make them a bad Christian?
No, actually, I've actually kind of had to wrestle with that myself. I'd been partnering with a lie for a little too long. There was this. I'll make this quick. There was this radio show I used to listen to with this guy. His name was Dennis Prager. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yeah.
he had said, Jewish guy, conservative guy, and he would always say, it saddens me when people have a negative relationship with their parents or with their other family members. It's like you should always strive. It doesn't matter what I remember he said, it doesn't matter what they've done. You should always strive to have a relationship with everybody in your family. And I had just kind of accepted that as gospel truth. And then this was the other day. I hadn't thought about that. That little one time that this guy said, and I remember my mom or my dad being like, that's a very good point. And I just accepted it as like, this is always the truth. There are zero exceptions. Yeah. And so like, well, you always, even if you don't want to, you always have to prioritize the family. And I was like, well, that's not, a scripture came to mind of like, Jesus said, I have come not with peace, but with a sword. Mother and daughter will be separated. Father and son will be separated because of my beliefs. And it's like, you're allowed to have strife in your family, and you're allowed to say, hey, for boundary's sake, you're going to have your place and I'm going to have my place. It's not illegal. Yeah. It's not ideal.
Well, and there's some places that aren't safe. There's family members that are like, okay, I got set free from that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to be around those drugs or the alcohol or the abuse or the emotional. Absolutely. And so you are not, because someone's your family, it doesn't mean that you're owned by them and that you have to do it. It's like, no, this is, I'm here to follow what God's called me to do.
I'm here to follow Jesus, not my earthly mom or dad.
And so like we said in the beginning, that verse, it's like sometimes I've got some people that are, closer than my family when I was growing up. And I have some mixed emotions about that. I've reconciled some of the relationships with my family, but I don't hang out with them.
Right.
I'm respectful to them.
Yeah. Like I've got family members where it's just kind of like, you live on the other side of the planet. Yeah. Like I can't be expected to, or I don't think I've had any crazy relationship problems that are causing strife in my family like that, but absolutely, if there is something where it's like it would be a danger to myself and to others if we were to like go see each other. Right.
But be in relationship with the people that God puts you in a room with. Say,
spiritual family.
I want to be a part of something. I'm going to sign up for this. And you might have to pick through a few because there's some pretty weird people in the world. Yeah. And there are pretty weird people in the church. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute. There's plenty of weird people out of the church. Okay, so weird people are everywhere.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you later.
Peace.